This is Soundoff60, Southwest Louisiana's premier sports show.
Coaching staff was just like, you need to go through the same routine you were going through in the minor leagues. It's going to happen. Yeah. Our skipper actually moved me up to the 2-hole in the order in the middle of that and said, hey, you're our guy, you're going to play, and we believe in you. And then got a few hits, started believing in myself.
Julio's coming back. Oh, forget it. The game's over. Forget it. The game's over. Oh,
Soundoff60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
I am forecasting a jolly good show, gentlemen. Soundoff60 is with you.
We got anything to talk about?
We got a whole lot to talk about. The agenda is full. The chuck wagon is overflowing with topics.
Yes,
we're going to have a lot of fun. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving.
We did.
Excellent.
I told you not to be smiling at me. He's late again.
But the show is rolling.
We had a good time.
You are dressed in your best Thanksgiving attire. I like it.
Today.
I like it. All right.
She said, "This looks
Now,
good."
I will say this. No, I'm not saying anything.
No, don't say anything nice.
He's the only one right here on property, and he's always late.
Well,
But you are one human being I know whose wife doesn't have to dress him.
Yeah, you're right.
When it comes to clothes, Kevin is.
he's got it covered. All right, gentlemen. Well, we're gonna have a spirited show. It's gonna be fun tonight because we're gonna bounce around. Let me tell you now, McNeese Athletic Director Bruce Hemphill will be in the fourth chair tonight as our special guest to do a segment with us. A little bit later on in the show, a number of topics to talk to Bruce about. In particular, the FCS playoffs, the snubbing. We'll get into all of that and have a little fun. All right, Saints lose, not a shock, gentlemen. LSU wins, not a shock over trouble A&M and the Aggies. Coaching changes galore. Let me say this for the record. Post-game of A&M LSU, that is one coach. I mean, he knew he was gone.
He knew.
There was no doubt
before that, Rick.
in his body language.
He knew before that.
He was gone.
He knew pregame.
He probably knew back in May.
He knew before that he was gone. He knew that.
Kevin Sumlin, we're speaking about. It's official as we roll through the SEC and the carousel of moving parts that is the coaching vacancy and hirings. Let's lay the groundwork as we know it early in the week. All right, so A&M fires Kevin Sumlin.
Yes.
Rumor is, let's connect the dots.
Well,
very good chance that Florida State's Jimbo Fisher will leave Tallahassee.
Did you?
I say chance, not very good.
Scooter say chance. This is what
will not leave or will.
That he will not.
As of.
I think it's I'd be surprised if he ends up at A&M.
Okay, your bead.
I've been wrong before.
Your bead.
I can see Scooter's point. It's not a bad job at Florida State. Okay, not a bad job. But you're going to the state of Texas where football is what?
Well,
it's larger than life.
Florida.
Okay, it's not in Florida?
Yeah, Florida's king too.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but Scooter, Texas.
Bad argument. Bad argument.
I don't know. That's a bad. I don't know.
Where are you falling? So let me weigh in.
My thing is this here. Listening to the Athletic Association, they interviewed one of the guys, Bernie something. He said, whatever Jimbo Fisher's asking, I'm pretty sure we can pay it.
Sure,
now,
but I don't think
is that
it.
saying I wouldn't want to go there?
Look, let me cut to the
whatever
chase.
Jimbo Fisher is asking, we're willing to pay it.
Let's cut to the chase.
He's saying that, Scooter.
Nick Saban is standing between you and the playoffs. He's not in Tallahassee. Jimbo doesn't need any more money.
I take it away. Wait. Look, I take it away. What if you're in Auburn? Bama's not standing in your way.
Not this year.
Not this year.
No, but I'm saying, though, if you're in Auburn, Bama's not in my way.
Yeah, here it is, guys. It's all in relation to the dollars in the bankroll.
It is, Rick.
No.
Here's my arm graph. You're wrong. Texas A&M, Florida State.
Well, what did I just say, Scooter?
Facilities, Texas A&M, the best in the country.
Scooter?
Florida State here.
Didn't they just do a $400 million
Jimbo Fisher.
addition?
I don't have the bell
to that
tonight.
stadium?
Jimbo Fisher will be in College Station.
Okay.
He will
Scooter,
be in College.
you lost that
my
argument.
prediction. He will be in College Station.
Well, wait a minute. I don't think I've lost the argument until.
That's just my prediction.
Yeah, and you're right.
Okay.
I think he'll go.
The University of Tennessee, they have just replaced LSU of the worst handling of a head coach situation, at least in the last 10 years.
Well, wait a minute.
How bad can that be?
LSU 2 years ago showed you not how to fire somebody.
Exactly.
Tennessee showed you not how to hire somebody.
somebody. There you go.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
Unless you're on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's
How
crazy.
and I'm going to pose this question to an athletic director, Bruce Hemphill, later on.
I don't even know if he's got an answer
How
for
does
it.
Tennessee's athletic director,
Rick, that's-
in the turmoil of that football program in the last 12 years since Philip Fulmer, how does he not reach out to Peyton Manning, to
Rick.
some alumni, to
Rick.
people who support this program? He had to know. He
You're talking
had
about
to
make
know.
Peyton coach?
No.
No.
Like,
Just
how
reach
would
out
you,
to him.
How would you feel about Greg
Yeah.
Schiano?
Yeah.
To cover your rear end.
Yeah.
He did it in the dark of
I
the night.
assume we're going to get deeper into this.
Well,
one.
I don't know.
I mean,
Well,
you know,
we got a lot to
everybody else
cover.
says no. Scooter, they
Because
said yes.
This whole
I mean, like,
deal
wow.
of the outrage and the revolt in Tennessee was because of these alleged ties to the Penn State scandal.
Yeah.
That's
And
bull.
that
They didn't
is-
like the hire.
Well,
That's
Scooter,
a low blow. That's a
Oh,
low
it
blow.
is
But
a
Scooter,
low
That
blow.
is very low blow to
To
Greg
I'm
bring
not
that
a
up-
big Schiano fan either, but I had never heard this Penn State stuff until yesterday.
Me either.
But I wasn't a big
You know
Schiano
why?
fan.
He was not deposed. He
No,
was not
come in.
questioned. He was not tied into the
you're
Sandusky
right.
scandal
You're
at
right.
Penn State.
You're right. You're right.
I don't get it. But anyway,
I
all
don't
right.
either. But you know, it is what
And,
it is.
and
Rick.
believe me, that had nothing to do
No,
with
I agree.
the
with you.
revolt.
I agree with you.
No,
That had nothing to do with
Curry
the
got
revolt.
backlash because he didn't vet. He didn't talk to the people ahead of time. All right.
Yeah.
Dan Mullen accepts the job at the University of Florida. So now the Gators have their head coach. Mississippi State now has an opening. Arkansas fires Belima. They have an opening. Texas A&M officially
A&M
is still
set up.
open. So you got Ole Miss is still sitting with an interim who didn't do a bad job, did he not?
Well, no, they did
Did
announce
they?
him.
Oh, good.
He has
Matt Luke,
stayed. He
good.
has stayed.
Because I thought he did a respectable
was
job,
decent,
and that's
too.
a trouble
Yeah, I did
program.
too. Well, and they didn't have a lot of options.
No, they didn't.
No.
You know.
Okay. So here I pose, guys.
He
and
might be a good pick.
We're having
right
a little
there.
fun with this. Les Miles.
I was gonna say that. You took it right out of my mouth.
Why doesn't Arkansas call Les Miles?
I don't-
Can they do
They
any
called
better?
him once, if you remember.
I don't know. Give me the backstory
Really?
quickly.
I forget what year it was.
All right. So
Really?
obviously years ago.
I mean-
he won a national championship. Why is he not getting calls?
I don't
Okay,
know.
I
Rick.
know the
I
five
don't
yards
think
in a
I can
cloud of
think.
dust. I know
Okay.
about that.
I think fairly or unfairly, he gets perceived as he just took over a program at LSU that Saban had started.
You don't
But
buy
he
into
kept it going. Not
you don't.
really. And
No.
if you're looking for somebody that built a program, he did build the program at Oklahoma State.
he did.
They
Yes, he
had
did.
been down. He
Yeah,
was
I
there
agree.
3 years.
I agree.
He beat Oklahoma 2 out of 3 years.
man won a
but
national championship.
he's 64 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. 64 going on
and you know, Rick,
55. Okay.
And
And he's a young 64.
He is.
I'm
Yeah.
with
He
you.
is.
But Scooter brings up a good point, though. You know, when you look at Coach Miles and the kids at LSU loved him, man. It's that, can that go over to another system? LSU was something like, if that system was built around Les Miles, if you understand what I mean when I say that.
I understand that.
It was built around
his
him.
culture,
You
his
can't-
persona.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you
but
can't-
you know, even though correct me if I'm wrong, Stat Boys. He was what, a second and a half from holding that job
No,
at
he-
LSU?
No.
They beat Auburn with that catch with chalk
No.
in the end zone.
You
he
right.
may
You
still
right.
be the coach at LSU.
It was coming, though.
Oh, it was
if
coming.
it didn't happen
I think-
then.
I think Scooter's
okay,
right.
when
okay.
he
It
didn't
was
change
coming.
anything
I know
after the near-death experience
right.
the year before,
I'm just saying. I'm just
Well,
saying.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He was that close.
No, but I know
I
what
have
you're
to
saying,
say.
Rick.
All right, he was that
but
close.
if it didn't happen that week, it would have happened the next or the
Here's
next.
a man that won a national championship. He should be getting calls.
I agree.
And
I agree with you.
Arkansas
I
are
am
fools if they don't hire Les
mystified.
Miles.
I am mystified that he's not.
They're fools. All right, we got a lot to cover.
A lot. We hadn't even started
Bruce
yet.
Hemphill a little bit later on in the show. LSU Saints
Wow.
coaching and this college football playoff.
Is it
Are we going to
crazy
figure this
now?
one out?
Is it
after
crazy
the
now?
Iron Bowl?
Is it crazy
Auburn
now?
and Georgia playing for the SEC
Wow.
title. A whole lot to cover. We'll take a
One of
2-minute
them
pause.
going.
We're coming back to Jack Daniels at LaBerge Casino. Stay right there.
Soundoff60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort.
In 1975, we brewed the original light beer with more taste and only 96 calories. We think that's worth celebrating. Miller Lite, back in the original bottle.
The 2018 Toyota Camry is here, and it is a remarkable product. So remarkable, in fact, we're going to do something a little different with this commercial. We're just going to spend the rest of this 30 seconds showing you this car. So if you're one of those people that's always said, yeah, the Camry's not really the car for me, you might be exactly who this car is for. Come see it today at Lake Charles Toyota.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels at L'Auberge Casino on the big stage here at Jack Daniels. Every weekend it's country music, back to the roots here. On Friday, it's Miles Flat, and on Saturday night, it's the Lance Dubrock Band right here on the big stage at Jack Daniels, back to the roots of country music.
Yes.
Speaking of country and speaking of wild things going back on this coaching thing,
look,
it didn't shock me that former NFL flameout and Oregon coach Chip Kelly stayed completely away from the SEC.
He did.
Why wouldn't he go to his friendly confines of the Pac-12 and go UCLA?
It's a better fit for him.
It is.
Yeah.
But if he was going to coach in the SEC, I do think Florida would have been the best fit for him.
Yes.
Although
because the open sit.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
I mean that fits him. I mean that's what he did at Oregon. I mean it's.
You know, it's
if
funny.
You're Chip
Florida,
Kelly, you go back to California. That's your base. That's where you know.
You go,
recruit.
Yeah, but like Scooter say, Florida would have been the best fit for him.
Well, in the SEC.
Florida got their third choice, and they seem very happy with.
Well, good.
With
Yeah.
Mullen.
Oh, Dan Mullen. Oh, yeah. No doubt. Good hire there, and good for Dan Mullen because he paid his dues in Starkville. He did a great job at Mississippi State. All right, let's get on to the LSU Tigers. No shock that they dominated Texas A&M. It was a great game. I don't have my bell. Are you finally? He's only got one more game. But Danny Etling
Will you give him any credit?
347 through the air.
He probably, wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute.
What?
I'm sure at the course of the game, he missed one pass.
Of course.
And that's what Kevin's going to remember.
Yeah.
No, I'm not, man. No, I'm
All
not.
right,
Come on.
Come
give
on,
it
guys.
to us.
Rick, can I just say it? A&M, you wonder why their head coach has gotten fired. I mean,
here we go.
That system is just in disarray. I mean,
They're
come on.
FBS. They're big boys. They put on big
Texas
shoulder
A&M,
pads.
this is the worst.
They're not
Scooter,
bad
just-
offensively, and they have John Chavis as defensive coordinator.
And for how many years they've had him? And they've been
This
under,
is,
what, 500?
Second, I guess.
They're
Third.
not
No,
under 500.
fourth, 5 years. Yeah, they've been there for a while.
All
Yeah,
right,
when he left
And
out.
they're not
He
under
went straight back.
500.
But look, this is my thing. LSU played well. Rick, you know what, man? It's like
LSU did not play that great, but go ahead.
against A&M. Yeah, okay. Guys got started real late. He didn't come on real early.
Well, they've stacked the box.
Yeah.
It's what you
But
do.
when you look at defense, I'm saying, and you're hearing it now if you guys are watching television, how long is Aranda going to be there?
Well,
My thing is this. The defense you've got that's coming back, if for some reason Aranda leaves and gets a head coaching job somewhere, whatever, because it's out there,
I think
guys.
Aranda stays.
It's-
Now, Canada's another story.
Have you been hearing the stuff that's on ESPN?
But that's all you do. You've been hearing this.
Hey, Scooter, that's my filter. That's my filter, man. And
You're
I'm not
Twitter's
the-
dream.
yeah.
Anyway, Rick, what I'm saying is this. I don't see how, with the
Kevin.
way he's put together that defense, because right now we're looking solely for next year. This year is a wash. It's done. It's over with.
I disagree. I could not disagree with everything you've
to the
said
Outback
so
Bowl?
far.
To
more.
the Outback Bowl, is that the best?
Oh, that's,
I mean, we can do is the
that's-
Outback? Okay, all right. Look, this is my thing. I expected more out of the Tigers this year. Yes, I did. My expectations, you know when you look at
I thought they were an 8-4 team. And I did, honestly, I surely didn't figure them losing to Troy.
No one did.
So I did not see them a 6-2 team in the SEC.
some of the games that LSU lost, I mean.
They weren't perfect. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
But when I look, but let me finish this trick. When you look at a team such as an Auburn,
Which LSU beat, I might add.
you took it out of my mouth.
Get to the point. I mean, we're
It's
waiting
like,
here with
it's
bated
like, Rick,
breath.
I'm confused,
What?
man.
What?
How can we not? How can we not beat Bama? I guess that's what I'm saying. What's the formula that Auburn has that other teams in the SEC in the West
So let
don't
me
have?
get this straight.
What is it? What is it?
let me get this straight. When you were at LSU,
Don't go there. Don't
Go there, Hobbs.
Don't go there.
Go there.
with
please.
Arnsparger and
go
Tommy
there.
Hodson and Kevin Guidry, y'all played your best game every week. There was no up and
Yeah,
down.
No up and down
Okay,
every week.
okay.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
up and down
All right,
every
all
week.
right.
Stuart.
Okay.
Let's
I
get to
got
the
you.
point
You
here.
knew
Let's
that was
get
my
to
answer
the
before
point.
you even asked it, okay?
I think this he had him pegged at 8-4. I was look. You take away the debacle in Starkville, and you beat Troy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You get a one-loss team here. Am I
Yeah.
doing the math right?
Yeah, you're doing
Okay.
it right, Rick. You're doing
I
it
thought
right.
the debacle in Starkville.
I thought it would have been.
That was a mini surprise beside the shocker.
And see, when
in
Kevin
Troy.
was at LSU, they never even lost one
Never
game.
lost a game. All right. Look, this is.
Can I say something about the Troy game?
Go ahead. This is your territory. What?
There were-
I got to step in and say Kevin has become a lot better player since he's gone.
Bruce Hemphill had to throw it in.
Bruce, I will get you, Bruce.
He's coming up in the next segment, by the way. I like that.
You know, and I think 9-3 is pretty good
Yes.
for this team.
It's pretty good.
The built-in flaws this team had, I think 9-3 is pretty good. No, nobody saw it, but I've heard more people say, if they just hadn't lost that Troy game, if they just hadn't lost that Troy game,
That was a heartbreaker. Scoop.
if they hadn't lost that Troy game, I think their record would be worse than it is.
Interesting.
Because they
I'd argue
wouldn't
that,
have
but
had to
okay.
have the come to Jesus
Yeah.
meeting because they didn't play good any of those first four games.
But you know what,
I mean,
Scooter?
you couldn't tell it because BYU was so bad.
Work in
But
progress.
the other three games,
Work in progress.
if they hadn't had that slap in the face of
That's
forcing
the theory.
to come up with some team leadership,
Okay.
force the coaches to do some soul searching, they don't beat Florida the next week. They sure don't beat Auburn.
Yeah.
I'm
just-
telling you.
Some merit. You got some merit there. You got some merit.
Yeah, and I agree. And Scooter has a point, man, because, I mean, I just wish it would have been that loss to a much better team.
All right.
That's all.
No, okay.
That's all.
And they will wear
That's all.
that. They will wear that loss to
Boy, that's
Troy
right. Boy, that's
like
right,
a
Scooter.
scarlet letter.
Yes, they will.
Look, do a little forecasting yourself. Where they're headed. Where do you think?
My
Florida.
best guess is Outback.
Everybody's
Bowl.
saying
Outback,
Outback
yeah.
Bowl,
Okay.
Rick.
Not a bad ball.
Probably against Michigan
we've-
State. So
Okay.
that's a good match.
We've
bowl.
dominated that bowl for what? How many years now, Scooter? We've gone there
Doesn't matter.
almost 2 years in a
that
row.
make
Oh,
money.
you're getting it mixed up with the Citrus Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah. All right,
The
Florida.
state of Florida just keep coming
it's
to my
Florida.
mind.
It's a Florida. All right.
There are a lot of bowls
look,
in Florida,
how-
Kevin. They're not all the same.
let's
one.
Move
know that,
on,
though.
gentlemen.
But it's
Let's
a lot of
move on.
bowls, man.
How sincere? He looked sincere to me after the game, Darius Geis.
No,
Are you staying? Are you going?
Even if he is now,
Not-
even if
not-
he
hadn't
is
made up
now,
his mind.
he will
His
change
mom,
it. He will change his mind.
He's real close to his mom. I think that decision is going to come. He's real close to his
No,
mom.
no.
He is a young man
And
that needs to move.
this
the
would
money
be
standpoint.
Kevin's reaction. Oh my goodness, what is that? They're not going to have a running back next year.
Oh, my
And I will admit, this is the first time that they're going to be losing a running back without an obvious heir apparent waiting.
Nobody
it
knows
will
who's
be.
But the
gonna
youth
be-
they have is pretty
they have
very
it.
highly rated out of high
Oh,
school,
they
are
have
they
it.
not?
They haven't.
Yeah, but
that's-
nothing we have yet seen on the field.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, right.
they had a
Tough
pretty
to get
good
on the field
1-2
with those
punch
guys.
at running back
Early
this
on.
year, and
it's-
Geis is gone.
Yeah,
He's
he's-
not coming.
I'm just saying.
I don't
he
see
looks
him
sincere.
staying,
He
but
looks sincere.
if he-
Maybe
if
he
he
has
does,
made up his
that
mind.
would be great.
Maybe he hasn't. But he basically said over the summer he
Yeah,
was leaving.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what would have changed
just-
his mind. He
How
was
can-
hurt most of this year.
You're right, yeah.
He's going to come back and
No,
really
he should
get
go.
hurt.
No, he should go.
Okay.
I mean, players, in my opinion, on the college level and the pro level, you heard me say it here umpteen
Go.
times,
You gotta
they
go, you
need
gotta
to
go.
get everything they can get.
Yeah.
With the hits and the way they sacrifice
It's not
their
gonna last
body,
long, Rick.
they need to get
Particularly
everything
running
they
back.
can get and as
Where-
quickly
where
as
the
they
ball,
can.
not
you
gonna
know,
last
another
long. I
year,
totally
let's just
agree.
tread off
I
the
agree.
tire.
No, the man should
Yeah.
go to the NFL.
Oh,
but how do you not get caught up in the charm and the fun of the life of Darius Geis?
Yeah.
I mean, this
He's a
guy,
good kid,
I mean,
man.
he's just
He's a good
he's just
kid.
walking around with a
He's
smile.
got some personality.
He's
Oh,
a
that's
great
for
guy.
sure.
He
There's
just
no
seems
doubt
like
You know,
a
he
great guy.
charmed the socks off everybody at SEC media.
Oh, I
days.
can imagine.
No,
I can
he
imagine.
does.
All right, we're up against the clock. When we come back, we're going to talk
So much
athletics
more to talk
with
about.
McNeese State Athletic Director Bruce Hemphill. He jumped in here and
He's
busted
here.
your
He's on
chops
set.
a little bit. We're
Bruce
going to
is
give him
here.
an opportunity to bust more chops of Mr. Guidry. When we come back in about 2 minutes.
Bruce
Jack
played
Daniels
at
on the bench.
LSU. We got to
That's
ask,
right.
did
Yes.
they ever lose a game when
That's
he
right.
was there?
We're coming back in a
You
little
know?
bit. Stay right there.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort. Check us out online at soundoff60tv.com.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Are you trying to stay cool with a temporary fix? There's a smarter solution. Save on your monthly energy costs while enjoying quiet and consistent comfort this summer with a highly efficient air conditioning system from Luxair. We'll recommend a system that is perfectly suited to your home and provides optimal cooling, exceptional energy savings, and lasting performance. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solarsupply.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels at L'Auberge. We want to welcome into the fourth chair. That would be McNeese Athletic Director Bruce Hemphill. Bruce, always a pleasure to have you back. We've got a lot to talk about. I love the little busted of the chops throwing in there.
Bruce always
I'm
gets
sure
it in.
everybody
Again,
heard
It
it.
was
He
well
always
deserved, but I got to throw in one more.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm always throwing by giving Kevin a hard time by coming to McNeese games.
Yeah.
Well, I'm down the field for a presentation. I get a text. So I pull it out, Kevin Guidry. I'm at the game.
He had to announce it to you.
But I could not find a single person in the stands that could back that story that he was actually there.
I was there, Bruce.
He wanted a police escort,
I was
a
there.
limo, and
I was
Yeah.
at the game. I had to make my presence known.
Look,
I was there.
We could, for another time and place, but we need to have a backdrop of Bruce Springsteen and Glory Days. All right, for you two guys, because I think Guidry and his Glory Days and how he conjures up these memories may beat you out. Okay, you're a former LSU player yourself, so you know how that goes.
Mine would be a short highlight tape, about an inch long, where Kevin's in his mind would be miles and miles.
And
It would
miles
go
of
forever.
tape. All right,
It
let's
would go
get to
forever.
it. All right, I talked with you prior to the FCS committee, the playoff committee. I really thought it was 50-50. Nichols goes to Hammond, they lose. It helped out McNeese, but not enough. Would you say, as we described it last week on this show, that the committee snubbed McNeese? Would you describe it as?
Well, I wouldn't say it was snub. It was very disappointing, very surprising, Rick, that it actually happened, that we were left out. But I would never define it as a snub. The fact of, very happy that 3 from our conference got in. They have never selected 4 from the Southland Conference before.
but some other conferences.
But some
have,
other
right?
conferences have had,
Right.
and including this year, had some with records not as impressive as ours.
That is correct. Now, as I pose to
Yeah.
you, how can you not go 4 deep? And Coach Lance Guidry as well. How can the committee not go 4 deep when you've got Central Arkansas and Sam Houston with 3 and 4 or 3 and 5 all year long, and then they go into the playoffs seeded 4 and 6? How can you not go 4 deep?
Well, again, that's the question that we may never know the answer.
Of course
when
not.
you have
I
2
pose
of the
it
top
rhetorically.
teams in FCS seeded, with those 2 teams who finished first and second in our league, they're in the top 6. Both of them got buys. I know the argument probably was, well, Nichols beat McNeese head-to-head. We understand that, but taking the fact of that we went down there amidst Hurricane Harvey. We had displaced players and coaches
It's on a Thursday.
on a Thursday night, and still practicing, had to go to Lafayette to get our practices in, and still come down to the fact
Well,
of
still
getting beat.
dominated the game.
Yeah.
And what?
Still dominated the game. just
Dominated
lost
the
it.
game and get beat right at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
So we had all that information. I made sure the conference and our representative from the Southland Conference, who was on the selection committee, went there. He had all that information. What happened in that room, we'll never know.
All right.
Too
Go
bad.
ahead. Go ahead.
The fact of that we're 9-2, and McNeese, who's got a great history with the playoffs too.
I'm with you.
The other fact is that the FCS version of the RPI had us 19th, and we don't get in.
Okay. We can sit here, we can whine, we can make the case.
I'm complaining. I'm not whining, but go ahead.
No, you're whining.
Okay.
We can make these cases, but as an athletic director, do you take a step back and, other than beating Nichols, obviously, what might could have McNeese done where that wouldn't have happened? I mean, do you take a step back and try to analyze it?
Well, the fact is, we're 9-2. I just described the Nichols game. With going up there to UCA, they beat us too.
Yeah.
And of course, that's why they're one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the country too. Yeah. We can analyze this all we want to, but it's not going to change anything, Scooter.
Yeah. Okay. I'm talking about going forward. What might you do differently
and
going
let me throw this in. I'm reading between the lines, possibly. The continued scheduling of Division II teams, like a Florida Tech, that had to play a little bit role behind closed doors.
No, it did not.
Okay. All right.
No, that part I do not
know.
know.
Go ahead.
The only fact that can come into is the fact of that it does not count as a win.
Right.
You have to have 7 FCS wins to be eligible for the playoffs. We had 8.
Yeah.
So even with 8-2, if you don't count the Florida Tech game,
Division II does not count.
Does not count toward looking at the playoffs, does not count toward those wins. Did it hurt us? No, but still even at 8-2.
Okay, let me go another direction a little bit. How much
does that mean I did not answer your question?
No.
Well,
no, you just brought up a point, and I want to expand on it. How much do you think not having a FCS game, a FBS game, hurt? Because, I mean, I assume those wins and losses count. But to me, that committee, looked at Nichols losing to A&M, that didn't count as a loss to them. So how much do you think it hurt? And most years y'all do have one, but didn't this year? How much did that hurt?
And I think it's the same thing with the Division II versus having an FBS game. In Nichols, it counted as a loss. I don't think the committee's going to sit there and analyze, they played them real close to the fourth quarter. I don't think it went to that depth in that too. So no, I don't think it did.
Bruce, I guess to expand on a little bit of what Scooter was saying, if by possible that you guys could have gotten the Arkansas game scheduled, could that have played a part in where Nice ends up at, having them on the schedule?
Well, if we had won, I think it would have brought, just like we've done. We did with South Florida, Middle Tennessee in the years past too. But the fact of that you normally don't win those games, I don't think made a difference whether we played one or not, or if we would have lost, it would have just showed up in the L column.
But just a regular Joe Blow looking at it, McNeese is 9-2, and Nichols is 8-3. I'm just blown away.
But see, that's what I'm saying, Kevin. That 8-3 includes a loss to Texas A&M.
That's no loss.
That was invisible to us.
What they did look into, though, is that normally we've taken 3 teams from the Southland Conference. All right, let's look at the third team. They both tied for the conference with 2 losses. They beat us head-to-head. They don't look at all the what-ifs.
Argument on both sides. All right, and we're in a 2-minute warning, guys. 2-minute warning here, all right? McNeese Athletic Director Bruce Hemphill has joined us here. We've got 2 more minutes, Coach. All right, let's put that aside. All right, FCS, let's put that aside. Sagging attendance. Homecoming was very disappointing. And I call it a trend. I call it a concerning trend. Is it a concern to you, and what can be done, and what is being planned?
Well, absolutely. It's very much a concern. If you look at each year in the early part of the spring, you see the FBS attendance, and it has been dropping in the FBS level 1,000 attendees per ball game. Obviously, they don't do the FCS, but we know it affects us, and it was very obvious to all of you and me this past year. So we've got to take a look, because obviously that's where we spend or have to have our money is from walk-ups in the gates too. So it's something we're going to look at this spring and try to analyze what can we do. We won. We had good weather. I always talk about the 2 W's, winning and weather. We had both of those.
One of the things Scooter Bruce has always been able to say that LSU and McNeese has been able to coexist because of, for whatever reason. Has this been the one year that you guys have had the most games on the same dates at home?
Well, it seems to be, Kevin, having
It
looked
does.
at that
It really
more
does.
this year, but it has to be consistent. But I think, yes, that could be a factor. You got the winning, weather, LSU, you got the casinos, you got 50 ball games you can watch on TV.
That's the key.
So there's a lot of
that's
those.
the key.
The competition for the entertainment dollar is bigger now than ever before.
It is.
But I think it hit us harder this year than in years past, and we're going to have to take a serious look at it.
Like the Power 5 attendance or actual attendance, they're still selling the tickets, but actual attendance has been hurt.
Yes.
And yet I don't think there's ever been more interest in college football in my lifetime. The same thing with McNeese in the smaller divisions. I don't think there's any less interest in McNeese around town, but it's harder to get them inside the stadium.
Totally agree.
With all of these, it's not that LSU is playing or anybody else is playing at home that day. Doesn't matter if they're playing at home or in Anchorage, Alaska, they're on TV. And that hurts you.
Yes.
All right, in our final 30 seconds, Bruce, I'm going to pose this question to you rhetorically. You may not have heard of what was going on at the University of Tennessee and Greg Schiano, that whole thing. Let me, somewhat rhetorically, but you're in a position you have to hire a head coach or a head basketball coach, somebody that's critical to the athletic program.
Yeah.
Would you not, on the record, would you not seek out opinions from key boosters and alumni and legislators and former players and whoever you think that would broaden your mind over a short list, if you will, or one candidate?
There's always, which we'll never know, what the complete story is from either side. But you'd hope that the school and the representatives from the school did their complete homework.
Yeah.
Too. Because you start looking at, because you don't know the whole story, well, is it because of some people just didn't like the pick, and so they look for something.
I'm posing the question to you, Bruce. You know, if and when, and the time will come eventually. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to hire Lance Guidry. All right. Did you seek out opinions from other people?
Well, because of Lance being on the inside, that's a little bit different case.
It is.
Because Lance being on the inside for so many years.
He was part of the system.
He was already part of the system.
Right.
But I think any time that you go outside, you've got to do more homework. But at the same time, too, it's going to raise more questions to the locals because they may not recognize the name or know him. So that's going to be the norm also. It's just because they don't know or they may have heard something about him, and rumors get started very fast.
We're out of time. Let's leave it there. Let's promise early 2018 we'll have you back and talk about the last year for basketball at Burton Coliseum.
Yeah.
I'm getting in the basketball moon, guys.
It's coming.
All right, and we got the new arena and when it's going to open on schedule. We'll table that for next time. All right?
Look forward to that.
All right, Bruce Hemphill, athletic director for McNeese State. We're out of time for this segment. We're coming back in 2 minutes. Stay right there.
Soundoff60 is brought to you by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. The boys in the box will be right back.
This is the original light beer, brewed with the belief that a beer could be light and not compromise on taste, to be enjoyed from opener to headliner. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Are you trying to stay cool with a temporary fix? There's a smarter solution. Save on your monthly energy costs while enjoying quiet and consistent comfort this summer with a highly efficient air conditioning system from Luxair. We'll recommend a system that is perfectly suited to your home and provides optimal cooling, exceptional energy savings, and lasting performance. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solarsupply.
Only one light beer has more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. This one. Miller Lite. Hold true.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels at LeBear's Casino. Always remind you, especially this time of year when it gets hectic and all that, what is it? Purple Thursday, Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
All that.
Pressure. Money, shopping. Slow down. Come to eat at Jack Daniels. Believe me, it will calm you down.
It will. It's a good place to be, Rick.
And food will put you in a good mood. I'm a big believer in that, all right? We're always welcome here at Jack Daniels. Great bar and grill. Great beer behind the bar, cold, and great food indeed.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, let's move to the NFL. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to throw in one more little jab on FCS, all right? First round of the FCS playoffs, all right?
Yes.
4 of the 5 teams,
Four
all
of
right?
the 5.
4 of the 5 rated lower than McNeese.
Were they automatic bids? Were they automatic bids?
I bet they
Doesn't matter. All right.
No, yes, it does
No,
matter.
it does. I'm just saying. Okay, let's say half of them lost, including Nichols at large. Nichols, good game. South Dakota State.
If
down
they
in
were
Thibodeau.
automatic bids, it doesn't matter.
We'll call 2 of them were automatic bids. All right.
Well, you don't know.
Look.
Well, bring some facts.
I'll bring facts next time.
Okay.
Don't be
Lost.
messing with me today.
Lost.
You know?
By the way, you just mentioned NFL. Did the Saints win this week?
No, they did not. All right,
Okay,
let's
I
move to
was
the
just-
New Orleans
I wasn't
Saints.
sure. I was
Give
just wondering
credit.
what happened, Rick.
Give credit. This Rams
Broncos
defense.
do?
Remember the last 2 weeks? The last 2 weeks, settle down, gentlemen. The last 2 weeks we were talking about, I warned you, this is a big game, this is a critical game because of the way the Rams been playing. But I tell you, that LA defense, they looked
give
a
them
lot
credit.
like the Saints
They
defense.
look real good, Greg.
Saints
Pass,
defense.
gang tackling, give
No,
Wade
no.
Phillips a
Rick,
lot
There
of
was
credit.
one big
Can I
difference.
ask-
And
Lot
you know
of
what the
credit.
difference in that game to me was?
Tell me, oh great one.
I've got one thing.
And I'm not going with the obvious. The Saints missed their 2 cornerbacks.
Okay, thank you.
But,
Definitely.
but all in all, you're missing your 2 cornerbacks.
Starters, by the way, yeah.
And you give up 26 points,
Yeah.
and you got Drew Brees and the best running back tandem in the NFL
Yes, I think
and one
so,
of the
believe
best
me, one of the
offensive
best.
lines. Well, that's up to your offense to step
score
up.
more points.
Okay.
But here was the difference in that game. I give the Rams credit. In this day and age, that team can tackle.
I agree
The,
with you,
the
Scooter.
Saints
No, I
are
agree
doing
with you.
that current deal. Everybody
with
wants to do now where you come up and try to knock the guy down.
Right,
you know, going inside.
I agree
The
with you.
Rams were tackling.
Them.
They was locked
And
locked
that's
up.
what
Yeah.
I meant by
They
they looked
locked
a
up.
lot like the Saints have been looking the last 6-7 weeks because the Saints have been doing a very good job.
Well, they
tackling,
did
especially
yesterday.
open. They didn't
It was
yesterday.
a glaring difference.
That
One
Gurley,
knock
my
down,
gosh, that
Your
Gurley.
boy, if I'm not mistaken, was it Vaccaro?
Kenny Vaccaro.
Yeah, it's
the
bad
hell?
game.
He must
What
have
was he
lost.
thinking?
He lost that ball in the sun.
What was
I
he
don't know
thinking,
what was he
Rick?
doing. you know.
I agree with you.
He
That
had
was
to
your
lose.
boy,
And
though,
we can
Rick.
talk
That's your
all
boy.
about that. But they were missing their 2 cornerbacks, and
No,
they
they were,
decided they didn't want to tackle. That's when your offense has to step up. And I'm not overly concerned. That was one of the half dozen worst games Drew Brees has played as a Saint. He missed throws.
He did, Scooter.
He missed a lot more throws than Danny
Danny Etling,
Etling
yeah.
did
Yeah.
Saturday night.
I'm
He
thinking,
get paid a hell of a lot more money.
And
Didn't
get
he?
paid, and he's, you know,
I
first
shouldn't have said that.
kick in
I
Hall
shouldn't
of
have
Fame.
said that.
And I have a feeling the Saints can fix that.
They can
Oh,
fix
yeah,
that. Yes,
yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah.
fix
All right,
it.
look,
They can fix it. But
credit
they were
Wade
doing good,
Phillips.
Rick. They were doing, but I told you that's going to happen, Rick.
Of course,
I said
look,
it last
we
week.
said it last
I
week.
said that's going to happen,
this
Rick.
panel agreed they're going to lose some games. All right, they're not going
yeah.
undefeated for the rest of the run. Okay,
And if they were
And
going
they
to
gotta
lose
win the
one,
key
that
games.
might be the one. The
Exactly.
key to the Saints
look-
season is
Out
these
of-
next 2 games.
Wait,
Big time.
And look what the problem is now. Look who's turned around and killing everybody.
All right.
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Now.
Atlanta.
Atlanta's
They
turning
are
it on.
killing folks now,
Look,
Rick.
The big thing, the
Saints have to play them twice.
Yes, they
yeah,
do.
the
They are
Saints have a
killing folks
win
right now,
over
Rick.
Carolina in their back pocket, and they got the Panthers coming in Sunday. They flexed the game to a 3 o'clock, 3:15 in the Dome, so they moved it later because of the importance of the game. Yes, short week, Sunday Panthers, short week Thursday
Yeah.
Atlanta. Right here is
That's
the
big.
NFC South.
That's
right
two big
here,
games,
right
Rick.
now.
That's 2 big
right
games,
now.
man.
And then, of course, Christmas Eve,
I
Atlanta again. and then
didn't
the Jets
think
and
the
all that.
Saints played very well in any phase. Well, I'm laying it at the offense.
Like the kicker.
But I'm
Yeah.
not overly concerned. They had won 8 straight
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
You know, regardless of what Kevin thinks with LSU, it's hard to do that every week.
Yes, it is. It is.
Let me state for the record right now.
But what
All
was the
right,
point that I made with the Saints?
What?
The week prior to this, I said, guys, you and Scooter both. I said, Rick, the key to the Saints' success is that they've got to stay healthy. You've got to keep those same guys on the
This is
field,
the
man.
NFL.
Well,
You know
that's
that,
any
you play.
NFL
You've
team.
got to, man.
That's any
Right.
NFL team.
I agree, it
and
is,
it did.
it is.
It
But
hurt
you
them.
got to keep
I
them
mean,
healthy.
I really. The Rams could have scored a lot more points than they did.
Yeah, they
Just
could've.
the opportunities were
That
there.
quarterback,
Jared Goff,
that quarterback,
huge
man,
improvement. Huge improvement. Huge improvement.
Oh,
and he had all
gosh.
day. He had all day.
He
He had all day to throw.
He
What?
did.
And boy, my deal with the NFL though.
Here we go. All right, newspaper boy. What?
The referees.
And if anything, it probably helped the Saints other than that when they called the touchdown back on the offense pass interference call.
Yeah.
Saints probably got.
But it was.
But when
But it was.
NFL refs, when NFL refs decide they want to watch it, make a game unwatchable, they will evermore do
They
it.
will call the
My
flag.
gosh, they had a flag on every other
Yeah,
play
they did.
of that
They
game.
did.
And I kept looking for Ed Hockley. I knew he had to be there somewhere, but he wasn't.
The play by the tight end, and I thought Tony Romo explained it very well. By the way, Tony Romo,
He's doing a heck of a job.
rookie of the
He is
year
good.
in the broadcast.
He's doing a hell of a
media.
job. He
Great
is.
job.
He found his new home.
But you don't block. You just kind of rub and you make it look like you're going into. It was by the rules. It was pass interference.
It was pass
By
That
the
touchdown-
rules,
but
you
that-
can throw a flag on anything
You're
in
right.
the
Yes, you
NFL.
But boy, they get that touchdown. Whole different game.
Yeah.
Whole different
I
game.
agree.
Now,
Well, maybe.
all right. So, Alvin Kamara, 188 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Look.
If he is not the NFL Rookie of the Year, I
let me
don't
tell
know
you
who
something.
is.
Let me-
Yeah, I
This
don't
is
Holy
understand.
smokes!
I couldn't believe when I looked at it. My guy only had 31 yards rushing.
Who, Mark Ingram?
Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
That was it. Let me
Yeah,
tell you.
Kamara was
They
about
didn't
the
get any
only
plays.
guy.
Let me tell you about Kamara.
They ran 20 less plays than the Rams.
We didn't see this coming with this kid. I didn't see it coming. He's going to be a star.
Oh, he is a star.
No,
he's the
he's
NFL Rookie.
No,
of the
he's
Year.
going to
there
be
now.
a star, man.
He's the NFL
He's gonna be a
Rookie
star,
of the Year.
man.
All right, Breeze and even Peyton today. I listened to the Sean Payton. You talked about the offense.
Yeah.
And they hit it right on the head. All right. Third down efficiency was terrible. Penalties killed him, and no rhythm.
You've got
They
to get
could
those
not
third downs.
establish a rhythm. Credit Wade Phillips.
Yeah.
He's the best in the business.
Yeah.
I
You're
tell
right,
you,
though,
The
Rick.
best in the business.
You're right,
The
man.
best
He
in the
knows what
business.
he's doing.
All right,
I'll
up
tip
against
my
the
hat
clock.
to the Rams.
We'll take a pause. When we come back,
Yeah.
Iron Bowl, Auburn dethrones Alabama. The circus that is the college football playoffs. We'll try
It's
to
gonna be
decipher
crazy,
it
man.
amongst us.
It's going to be crazy.
when
I've
we
got my
return.
four.
Stay right here.
Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LeBear's Casino Resort, home of soundoff60. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
The 2018 Toyota Camry is here, and it is a remarkable product. So remarkable, in fact, we're going to do something a little different with this commercial. We're just going to spend the rest of this 30 seconds showing you this car. So if you're one of those people that's always said, yeah, the Camry's not really the car for me, you might be exactly who this car is for. Come see it today at Lake Charles Toyota.
All right, welcome back to the show. Many thanks. We've had a great show, very spirited, very fun.
Yes.
Many thanks to Bruce Hempfield, McNeese Athletic Director, for joining us earlier in the show. Always remember, if you missed part of the show, you can always watch it on the rebroadcast
Yes.
all week long, 9 o'clock on Suddenlink Channel 4 right here in Southwest Louisiana. All right, let's try to figure out college football if we can. This is why it is fun. You know me, I'm big on the NFL, love the NFL situation, but boy, when it gets chaos in college football, it gets this. It gives us a lot of fodder, doesn't it? All right.
You got a
Auburn
problem
beats
right now.
Alabama
You got a
once
problem.
again in the Iron Bowl. Auburn proved the so-called theory that if you've got a guy who can move a little bit and beat Alabama's defense with his feet, it can put them a little on the edge, and Auburn did that. And
Let me
great
just say
game,
this.
great football
The
game.
difference that I
By the
think
way-
that Auburn had versus LSU, and guys, I know y'all going to be like, oh, here we go.
Here we go.
It was the quarterback. I'm
Of
sorry.
course.
No, I'm going to tell you the difference
sorry, it was
Auburn
That defensive
and
line for Auburn
LSU
is
had.
good.
I'm going to tell you the difference.
You cannot
And I'm not.
beat
Let me.
Alabama by running on them. You got to beat them by throwing. And I'll be damned if
What's the
Auburn didn't
difference?
do that.
What's the difference,
If
newspaper
Auburn
boy?
didn't do that, you cannot beat Bama by running. Who's going to figure that out?
Carry on Johnson
Who's
did
gonna
very,
figure
very
that
well,
out?
but go ahead.
Are you through? And I'm not taking anything away from Auburn. That's the worst game Alabama's played in 5 years.
They had one
If
before that.
Alabama's going to help you, how often does Alabama help you beat them? Never.
I know what
They
you're
spend
saying.
half that game.
I know what
but,
you're saying.
you know,
They had
don't
some
get me
busted coverages,
wrong.
too.
All props to Auburn. I mean, they forced some of that.
Yeah.
They
But
did.
that's the word. That was not Alabama playing. Alabama's better than that.
Yeah.
By the way, you were at the LSU.
I agree.
An hour, maybe an hour before the LSU game when the crowd
yeah.
starts filing in there.
Shit, they was showing the
They
game
got
up on the
Auburn,
big screen.
Alabama on the big
Really?
screen.
Good.
They was showing it.
They were all Auburn fans.
Really? All of a sudden they turned into Auburn
The
fans.
Tigers
All
stuck
the way,
together,
man.
I guess.
Guys, all right.
But
Let's try to lay it out quickly now.
what?
Auburn.
We don't know
Georgia,
what's gonna happen.
SEC championship.
Well,
Well, the SEC championship, they're in.
I
Whoever
can
wins
tell
that
you
in.
two that are in.
Whoever wins that in.
The ACC championship game winner is in.
Yeah.
Between
Be it
Clemson and
Miami
Miami.
or
yes.
Clemson.
But Miami loses over the weekend.
Yeah. Miami loses to
That's
State.
still their first
Yeah.
loss.
Okay.
The SEC championship game winner
Which
is
will be
in.
Georgia.
Because Georgia, no brainer, they'd have one loss.
Yeah.
Auburn would be two losses,
Yeah.
but how would you keep them out with 2 wins over Georgia and 1 over Alabama
Yeah,
in a
you're right, you
4-week
can't.
span?
You're right, Scooter.
And one of their losses to the what
They-
would probably be the number 1 team.
They will
in
never
Clemson.
put 2 SEC teams in that. They will never do that.
Well,
they will never do it.
Don't
Scooter.
rule Alabama out.
Don't-
just
how
No,
yet.
can
you
you?
can't rule them out. How do you rule them out, though?
can you rule the
can't rule them
Crimson
out.
Tide out of
They
this
will have a
situation?
fit. You're talking about 3 SEC
All right,
teams.
so what I'm
Dude,
saying is,
no way.
Well, no, there won't be 3.
no.
Okay, one of them would X out the loser.
Well, I think the loser,
would lose
the
out the
loser
extra,
of Auburn,
conference game.
Georgia, is out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Regardless of whether
Yeah.
they put a second.
I agree with that.
I agree with you.
Regardless of whether they
one of
put
the
Alabama in.
the tumbling blocks, if you will, has to come out of the Big Ten. You're sitting there with an undefeated Wisconsin team
undefeated.
who hasn't played anybody, but they're
And
unbeaten.
that's true, Rick. See, that's
so
why they're where
if
they're
they
at.
if they lose to Ohio State, which you know
They
it's-
could. They definitely could.
all of
Probably-
a sudden, do you deny Wisconsin, which is a 1 loss, or do they fall into the
Probably
trap
so.
of Penn
I
State?
think they do. I think,
I
I
think
think
they're
they deny
out.
him, Rick. I think they deny
I
him.
think they're
Look
out
at that
if they
schedule. Look
lose.
at
Who
the
else is
schedule.
If they
there
win,
now?
they're obviously
Oklahoma.
in.
Some
I
consider
think
Oklahoma the best
Oklahoma
in the
is
country.
Oklahoma.
All right, I've given you 2. The
Yeah.
ACC and SEC
And the Big 12.
winners
Right.
and Oklahoma.
And Oklahoma.
Okay.
Assuming they win
Assuming
now.
they win against TCU.
Oklahoma
Assuming they
wins,
beat
they have a
TCU.
hell of an argument because right now you're pushing the guy that's going to probably win the Heisman.
Yes. Yes.
That's
And
when
that
politics
brings
come
you,
in.
that
That's
brings
politics
you
right there,
to
Rick.
obviously Wisconsin if they win. If Wisconsin loses, Wisconsin, Ohio State, Alabama.
Wow.
That's who.
Who do you go with, Scooter? How do you figure that out, dude?
Yeah, we need, yeah.
No.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
need- production says we need
I
more
was waiting on somebody to say, "Oh, this proves we need 8 teams."
It does.
This might end up proving no, we need 2 teams. But I don't want to go that far.
You are so wrong again. You are so wrong
It'd be
again.
easy with 2
Look,
teams.
Oh my God! All right, this is
It's
fun.
3 and 4 you're going to end up having trouble with.
All right, look.
1 and 2 are going to
It's
be
going to
obvious.
be interesting, guys. I'm telling you, tomorrow it's going to be fun.
Oklahoma again. Part of that block that could fall is Big 10 and Big 12.
Yeah.
All right. I think the Pac-12, kind of out of it.
Nah.
Is there anybody else we're missing here?
That's
Clemson.
it. That's it.
Clemson.
I
Which
said
ACC.
Clemson.
Yeah, I know.
I
Clemson's
said
there.
the
Clemson's
ACC winner.
And then Auburn.
I'm assuming that will
Auburn.
be Clemson.
You know, the loss to LSU.
But if
could be
Auburn
the
loses
angle
to
around.
Can you
Georgia,
believe that?
that's 3 losses.
I know.
So you can't put them.
I know that, but boy, they beat Alabama and they beat
Georgia
Georgia.
will beat Auburn. Georgia will beat Auburn.
They really think so?
I think
They
so
will beat
too.
them. Georgia will
I think
Interesting.
Georgia
All
will.
right, all right. The SEC, all right, the coaching thing, all right. We touched on it in the first segment, all right.
5 of them?
I said Jimbo Fisher is going to Texas A&M.
I say he's going to.
Tennessee's got the opening. Dan Mullen in Florida. Chip Kelly's off the market.
Yeah.
Les Miles should be in Arkansas. Mississippi State has the opening. You know, Tennessee's talking about T. Martin.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, nothing against T. Martin.
Look,
you know.
Can we bump it up a notch and comment on this here? Gruden in Tennessee. What was that about?
John Gruden
can we? Will this finally, when this whole process starts over again next year? Can we finally get through a coaching search without Gruden mania?
He just needs to come out and definitively say, I'm never leaving the ESPN
I think he enjoys it too much.
That's what he thinks. I think he'll leave. I think if the right job, he will leave.
It's good negotiating leverage.
What?
With ESPN?
Would you use it?
I would use it too.
You know, I kind of saw this coming about 6 weeks ago, though, when everybody's just talking about firing left and right. These ADs are finding out it's tough in a seller's market to hire a coach.
Yes, it is.
Tennessee coach, Tennessee AD.
I mean,
John
who do they
Curry.
think is walking through?
Who's coming?
First, you know, you gotta settle your fan base down and kick somebody out the door. Okay, who you gonna get?
Yeah, and then throwing darts out of board. John Curry, the AD of Tennessee, just blows my mind. He's probably a smart guy, but how do you not
probably is a smart guy,
talk to people?
probably an attorney, to be honest.
I mean, he did not do Greg Schiano any favors.
No, he didn't,
favors.
but that's probably overrated. I'm sure he did talk to people.
He blew it.
I don't know, Scooter. I don't know. All right, we're up against the clock. All right, the lovely ladies from the Bears coming up with trivia, and I want to talk about Tom Brady.
Let's talk
I want to talk about Tom Brady and the Miami Dolphins targeting Tom Brady yesterday. We'll do that when we come back.
What is he, 52 now?
Soundoff 60 is brought to you by our friends at Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort. Soundoff 60 24/7 online at soundoff60tv.com.
The 2018 Toyota Camry is here, and it is a remarkable product. So remarkable, in fact, we're going to do something a little different with this commercial. We're just going to spend the rest of this 30 seconds showing you this car. So if you're one of those people that's always said, yeah, the Camry's not really the car for me, you might be exactly who this car is for. Come see it today at Lake Charles Toyota.
For more taste, less calories, and half the carbs, there's only one light beer to grab. Miller Lite. Hold true.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Only one light beer has more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. This one. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Welcome back to Jack Daniels. Time for Stump the Wise Guys. The lovely Victoria is here, and she's got 3 or 4 questions. So shoot, we're ready. Without the bell, but we're ready.
Okay. Name the one former Notre Dame head coach to ever coach in the SEC.
Lou Holtz.
Yes.
Yes, got it.
At South Carolina.
Man, that's the first
It
time
must be easy questions.
That was probably the easiest one.
Ready?
Yes.
In the last 10 years, Arkansas has gone through 5 head coaches, but the
Scooter's got
Razorbacks
this.
has 3 former coaches who have won the national championship.
Scooter got this.
Can you name the 3 ex-Arkansas coaches to win the national title and with what team?
Scooter.
Lou Holtz
with
Notre Dame.
What year?
What
they
year?
actually know a whole lot.
89, 88,
88, somewhere in there.
88.
Okay. Other Arkansas coaches, ex-Arkansas. Danny Ford.
Clemson.
Okay, what year?
81.
Yes.
80, very good.
Wow, Scooter, you on
Way to
it.
go.
Scooter.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Third.
Jimmy Johnson.
Nope.
No, Jimmy Johnson didn't coach at Arkansas.
Nope.
Who was the legend at Arkansas?
Frank Broyles,
Frank Broyles.
Arkansas,
Oh,
1964.
Oh,
there
that's got to
with
be
Jerry
one
Jones.
of
He was there with
those
Jerry Jones,
AP
right?
coaches
He was there with
poll
Jerry Jones.
deals.
No.
Really? Arkansas won the
Arkansas
national?
did win.
Did
They
they?
went
Okay.
undefeated in '64.
Okay, that's Frank Broyles. There we go. Here we go.
But I thought
You with us,
I
Victoria?
thought they meant
Victoria may
after.
need water. She might need a shot of Jack Daniels.
I thought they meant after
Take you some,
coaching
baby.
at
Go ahead.
Arkansas.
Oh, I don't know.
Won national
All right, here we go.
championship.
Nah,
Okay.
She's
ready
done.
now.
She's alive.
Yes. Name the 2 SEC head coaches besides Ed Oregon, who also coached at LSU in some capacity.
All right. SEC coaches that coached at LSU besides Ed Orgeron.
Coached
Saban.
No, coached at other SEC
Yeah.
schools. Jerry DiNardo came from Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Are we on the right track?
Y'all said a last name right.
DiNardo.
No. Okay.
No.
Saban, huh?
Saban.
Yeah,
He's a
Saban.
player.
Yeah.
Saban.
She said, what LSU coach
Currently in
left
the
LSU?
SEC. Currently
That
in the
coached at another SEC
Well,
school.
Paul Dietzel.
No, currently in the SEC. Guys that are still alive. Who's the guy
Well,
at
Nick Saban
at
is
Florida,
one.
at
Nick
South
Saban is
Carolina? I can't remember his name. He coached at LSU.
Will Muschamp.
Will
She's giving us the
Muschamp.
answer.
I see. She didn't mean that. I thought she meant head coach.
We gotta move on.
LSU.
Oh my God! Thank you, Victoria.
You're
'cause
welcome.
I know
Victoria,
she
you
might
was
not. You might got the.
You get
Give
an
a
A
Heimlich
for
over there.
you-
All right.
for playing
right
her.
there.
If anybody saw the Patriots and Dolphins over the weekend, the
This is
the
man
Miami
crush. You know
Dolphins
this is
are
man
the
crush.
epitome. Ndamukong Suh, I thought he cleaned up his act.
No, he
they
didn't.
just
He
hit
won't.
Brady time after time after time. It was cheap
Poor
shots.
old Brady.
You give Tom Brady and Drew Brees the respect that they deserve. You don't knock these guys on the ground.
what do
You
you
don't
do?
knock them like
Oh, wait,
that.
well, what do you do with him? You push him or what? You push him down or what?
Did you see the hits?
What you do? I mean, what do? You push him down?
These are guys taking shots.
Wait a minute.
They're taking shots.
Rick, wait, as a former defensive player,
Oh, don't go
I
there.
think
Don't go
I
there.
get paid to hit people, huh? Do I get paid to hit people or what? Or do I get
You-
paid?
All right, you know what?
Tom, fall, Tom.
If you guys
Tom
are going to
Paul.
argue that like
Paul,
the
Tom.
idiots that you
Fall
are,
down, Tom.
all right? No.
So
You
you're
go
saying
in.
they need Brady rules because no flags were thrown
I didn't
on
say
these
that.
plays.
You can chuck him.
You're
This
saying
is
they
not
need
Michael
Brady
Jordan.
rules.
This is not the NBA.
Watch
this
the
is
tape.
not Michael Jordan. This
Watch
is not the
the
NBA.
tape.
This is
Ndamukong
not-
Suh-
I
It's
didn't
not Michael
see
Jordan.
any of it.
Then you
so
can't
I'm not-
comment on it.
I
all right?
saw it.
These were cheap shots.
Wow.
If I was Bill Belichick, I would have gone after their quarterback.
Rick.
You do that to
Stop
Brady,
it. What
we're
a
going to hit
sportsman
you.
you like.
You damn right.
You teach a little league team too.
I
Wow,
do.
man.
And if you're
Look
going to go
what we
after
got
my
here. Rick
quarterback
teaches
like
a little
that,
league team.
then I'm going to go
Huh?
after yours.
Wow,
Your
Rick.
Brady man
Hey.
crush just knows no bounds.
That's all.
You know
school.
why?
It gets worse
Okay,
and worse.
all right.
Every time we come on and talk about it,
Adam
it gets
Gase,
worse.
who does he got quarterbacking? Matt Moore? Does he give a rat's? You know what? Holy smokes, cheap shots.
Hey,
Watch the tape on
what
YouTube.
did Tom do? I
You
got
will
all the
agree
respect in
with
the world
me.
for Tom. He gets back up and he pats him on the butt. Say,
Because he's a competitor.
he is. You got to admire the guy for that. I love Tom,
40
man.
years old getting hit like that. Are
52.
you kidding me?
He's
Not
52.
52. All right, great show. Victoria, are you with us? Yes. Might need to do the Heimlich there, Kevin. All right. More coaching
all right.
news.
Very good.
He's
I
all
got
right.
it now. More coaching news when we come back next week. It's going to
Yeah.
be fun. All right? Don't spend too much money doing all that Black Friday and all
Oh,
that
it's
stuff,
good,
all right?
man.
I
It's
already
good.
spent
I
on
think
See?
Black Friday has already passed.
It's
Cyber
like
Monday,
every day is
you
Black
know.
Friday. All right,
you
we'll
know
see
how
you. What?
you sit on the couch all day Black Friday, you don't spend any money.
There you go. Watch more football. All right, we'll see you next time,
All right,
everybody.
guys.
Have a great sports week.
Thanks.
Soundoff 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 4 Monday through Sunday nights at 9 and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10. Soundoff 60 also airs throughout Southwest Louisiana on Vive Broadband Channel 6 at 9 p.m. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the guys and access our website and our great advertising partners at soundoff60tv.com.